Used to be the song when they would hit a home run at the stadium. But what's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Empire 161 show. We're just getting it started with, I'm hoping you know Hip Hop Parade by now. Naughty by Nature. That's Jose Trevino's walk-up song because this dude is just having himself some kind of season so far. I'll tell you that.
Oh my God.
It's pretty awesome to see. It's like you can't make it up with some of the stuff that happens. But we'll be talking about that soon. But thanks for joining us on this Monday evening. If you're joining us on a Facebook live stream, if you're joining us on YouTube, if you're joining us on Twitter, on our own Twitter account, at Empire161 Show, or if you found us on Instagram, Pop Culture Pros, or wherever you find your podcast. Thanks for joining us. And with me, as always, Lisa Garcia. Lisa, what's up?
Hey, everybody. Sorry, this song's taking me back. It's really interesting that he has this song. Isn't he pretty Texas? So I'm just wondering, how, why he chose this song. And
I don't know. He's obviously a lot younger than us, so I don't know. Maybe he's on time. Yeah. So
Speaking of being a lot younger than us, can I just say I was at a barbecue this weekend and never felt older. Okay, now folks, I don't have a problem admitting this. I'm turning 45 this year, right? And I have no problem admitting that. However, I was at a barbecue with some colleagues who I love dearly, but they're probably 20 years younger than me, maybe like 15, 20 years younger. And they started playing an R&B. Ed, you're gonna I know you're gonna roll your eyes at this. They started playing R&B music from Ashanti from like 2000s, 2010, and they called it old school.
They called it old school. Okay, I was about to say, I'm actually not going to hate on Ashanti. I was actually a fan of Ashanti.
No, I'm not hating Ashanti. Yeah, Ashanti is great. Yeah. But they called it old school. And I was like,
there you go. There you got the roll.
Do you know where she got the beat of the song from? And they were like, no. And I was like, from a song that I used to listen to when I was your age. That's old school.
Yeah.
I was so just shocked that they were like, oh my God, this takes me back to when I was a kid. And I was like, I was in college, man. Damn.
Yeah, I can't stand it when that stuff happens.
It hurt my feelings so much, but I love them and had a great time at the barbecue regardless. So
nice. Good to hear. But you know what's kind of weird is that it seems like she's making some sort of she's been big in Europe. Like when I went to London for the London series, there was posters for her concerts and stuff like that.
Is she like David Hasselhoff is in Germany or whatever?
Oh, no. Let's not get crazy now. Yeah, let's not get crazy now. No one's as big as Hasselhoff.
I would beg to differ, Chuck Norris.
I don't know. I'm not even going to tempt the universe with that one because I'm going to just leave that alone. A battle between German David Hasselhoff versus Chuck Norris anywhere. Wow. My brain might start melting soon because it's too much to handle. But yeah, she just seemed like she kept going the whole time. And I don't know. I kind of seemed like this. Maybe it's like a resurgence. Yeah, it's like the resurgence maybe or something like that. I don't know. When her first album dropped, I was working in Sam Goody.
Wow.
So our posters up in the walls, and we had played her album and stuff the first time, it's promoted and stuff. So yeah, quite familiar with Ashanti.
Shout out to Ashanti. She's from Long Island, like me.
That's true. That is true. All right, let's jump into some Yankees baseball. I do love the random Ashanti talk or whatever we get into. It's always great. Between you and Jason, we go to weird places at times, and I love it. Keep everyone on their toes.
That's right. You never know.
Absolutely. But yeah, let's quick thing we wanted to talk about last week, but I admittedly kind of dropped the ball because we had some other stuff to talk about. Though was so Yankees radio announcer on the Fan, Joh Sterling, is apparently scaling back his road games in the second half of the season by about 25 to 30 games. And he's 84 years old. And to me, this kind of probably signals the beginning of the transition, into his retirement. There's a lot of other legendary announcers and stuff. Listen, we joke about Sterling and stuff like that, but the guy's been doing it for such a long time. He is very popular and stuff. So yeah, this is usually how it goes. Vince Scully had done it. Many others have done it. So yeah, this is it. And the rumored replacements, or at least temporarily fill-ins, is now the Yankees announcer on Spanish on the radio is Ricky Ricardo, and also Justin Shackle, who you'll see at the stadium a lot of times, kind of doing those on-field reports. Little by little, kind of like looks like he's following the path of Ryan Ruocco, because that's how he had started. And he also appears on John Boy, Justin Shackle too. So yeah, it seems like it was kind of jarring when I saw that, though. I mean, I was just like, wow, this is it. This is probably the beginning, of the end for him. Lisa, how much do you get to listen to the Yanks on the radio? I mean, do you listen to Sterling and Waldman? I mean, I do when I can't see them, but
yeah, I mean, I'm my dad used to like make plans around the Yankee games, right? So like there would have to be a TV anywhere we went if the Yankee game was on, or we would listen to them on the radio. So yeah, if I'm somewhere else, I'm likely gonna listen to it on the radio. And thanks to a certain app on my phone, which I won't mention because they don't pay us, I can listen to it on my phone as well. So yeah, I think, and when I'm driving home from work, sometimes, especially when games start at like 6:30 or random times, that's the only way I get to hear the game. So I listen to them a lot. I can't say I'm surprised he is turning 84, and in recent years, you and I have discussed off the podcast and on it, like there's a lot of dead air during the games if you listen to it on the radio. And I think that he and Susan Waldman, like I highly respect her, and I always have, because I always felt like she came correct with the stats and the knowledge, and like representing women. I mean, she's been a woman in the field since before that was even like a thing to consider. She has definitely earned where she's at. But the two of them together, like that made a lot of sense when that transition happened. And yeah, it's going to be the end of an era for him, and it's I think I was probably too young to appreciate when other folks that were just as famous broadcasters for the game on TV when they stopped. I mean, I remember when I think I used to listen to games that Phil Rizzuto did. Like I remember certain voices when I was a kid. I used to fall asleep watching the game with my dad. Um, and the announcers were like what put me to sleep because of just the constant banter. So, but I didn't appreciate when like when that happened. I didn't appreciate when a couple other folks left, the way that I will when he officially stops doing it. So I'm not surprised. I think he probably should have done this earlier just for his own health and well-being. And I'm happy that he gets to do it now. Before. I mean, he's may I be blessed to work until I'm 84. If I want.
If you want, exactly. Yeah, of course we love to hang it up first.
Doing something I love until the age of 84. Like, may I be blessed to do that. So, good for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I am glad to see he's doing it like on his own terms and stuff, and like something health wise isn't forcing him out. Father time's undefeated. So I mean, that's how it's going to be. And I am curious to see where they go with the booth moving forward. If they team Susan Waldman up with like the new person, or they decide to kind of just get two brand new people and kind of just start fresh whenever the full transition happens. Because from what I understand, the fill-ins over here, I kind of have a feeling this is also like, a tryout in a way to see, where it goes. They'll be working with Susan Waldman most of the time. So, I mean,
right.
You can see, and yeah, it's an opportunity for the fan and for the Yankees to go ahead and see how this is going to sound moving forward. So I'm curious to see that. Yeah, we joked on the show and stuff about like, missed calls and stuff like that. And I mean, it's going to
weird calls,
Aaron Judge, like things like that. But
I still don't understand the Giancarlo Stanton one.
No, but it became his shtick after a while. So, it just, I don't know, you kind of just go with it. And I will miss actually when a new Yankee joins the team and hits a home run. I admittedly, right after the excitement, of the actual home run happens, my brain does go to, I wonder what Sterling's call is for this. Like, what the hell did he come up with this time? So, by the way, Carpenter nails it or nailed that one is his call for Carpenter.
That's a good one.
No,
Ours
no,
is
that's a
better.
good one. Yes.
Ours is better, and you just told me yesterday that somebody who should not be named stole it. We have it on record. Fans of our show, you heard us say it here first. Somebody else stole it from us.
Someone ratted us out to Michael K. That's what happened. That's what it was. Of course it was.
That's what it was.
But yeah, no, I'll admit, I'll miss Joh Sterling when he's gone, as much as I joke around and stuff like that. Just you're used to hearing it. When I was a kid, I used to joke around about Rizzuto and stuff like that. But when he retired and stuff, it was kind of jarring when they moved on and stuff like that. And his crazy stories about birthdays and wherever the heck he would talk about and leaving the games early and stuff like that. He had free will to do whatever the heck he wanted to. So, it'll be at the end of an era when he officially does like hang him up. So, and they do have a bobblehead coming in August. On August 19th, there's a Sterling Baldwin bobblehead night.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see. Well, before we jump into the week that was for the Yanks, I know there was something you wanted to bring up to follow up on the story we had last week with the Rays, A, coming into town, and B, something that you kind of did this week?
Yes. Look, Rays, I don't know if it comes out forward or backward, but it says ally.
No, it's good. It's good.
Okay? It's not that hard. And I want to say I'm so happy that I got this shirt and that I wore it today. For those of you that don't know, I work in school-based programs, and I'm currently working in a school. And I had, I would say, at least 7 or 8 students and 1 staff member in the school tell me today, thank you for wearing that shirt. And I had 2 students ask me what that meant. And when I told them, they were like, right on, miss, thank you. So it's not that hard, folks. It's really not. All you gotta do is put it on your damn hat or on your whatever it was. It was a ribbon on your shirt.
A patch, on a sleeve, I believe.
You know what would be great if Yankees did their Pride Week during when the Rays were here and the Rays were forced to the Yankee Stadium. I would love that.
I wonder if
that's it. I just wanted to follow up and say that.
Yeah,
that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not going to want to get into they already have enough beef with the Rays on the field as it is. Pretty sure they're not going to want to stick it to them like that. But no, it is easy, and you didn't get struck by lightning, by Jesus or anything, and it's okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm still here.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm glad because I would have been doing a show by myself. So thank you, Jesus, for not striking me down with lightning. I appreciate that. All right, so we took our quick poke right there. Let's get into the week that was when the Yankees went ahead and hit the road, took on the Minnesota Twins, and I would honestly say that listen, we know the Twins have been, the team that the Yanks whoop up on for quite some time now, but gotta say overall in this series they kind of put up a fight with the craziest game being on Thursday, which we'll get to, but they did open up the series by beating the crap out of the Twins, 10-4. Jameson Taillon, tough week for him in both of his starts. Didn't exactly have his best stuff. He took a no decision in this game, only going 4 innings, 9 hits, 4 earned runs, a walk, 3 Ks. But Lucas Lipke came out of the bullpen to pick up his 2nd win of the season, to push his record on the season of 2-2, going an inning and 2/3. But the highlights lay in the offense, which we had Aaron Judge, 2 for 5 with his 22nd home run of the season with 2 walks and 2 runs scored. Giancarlo Stanton hit his 12th home run of the season, also added in a walk. Anthony Rizzo, 14th home run of the season, 3 RBIs. DJ LeMahieu had himself a night, 3 for 4 with an RBI and a run and 2 walks. And Aaron Hicks, get ready because Aaron Hicks and Joey Gallo are going to be on here a lot this week.
We're going to be saying their names a couple more times than usual.
Yep. 0 to 2 or 3. So 2 for 3 with 2 walks and 2 runs scored. Joey Gallo was 2 for 4 with an RBI, a run scored, and a walk. But interesting to see for a change of pace for this year where the offense picked up the pitching and the defense because the Yanks made 3 errors in this game. It was not the prettiest game in the field by the Yanks or, on the mound, but the bullpen went ahead and picked up Taillon, and they worked around 3 errors, but the offense really led the way by, just pretty much slugging their way to this win.
Mm-hmm. And
Um,
before we move on to the next game, just want to name two things. With
mhm.
Aaron Judge's home run in this game, he's only the second Yankee in history to hit 22 home runs in his first 53 games of the season. I'm sure you know who the other one was, Ed.
Let's see. Think he rhymes with A-Rod?
With who?
No. Is it A-Rod?
No, I would never ask you a question about him.
I mean, he is involved in some numbers this week. Roger Maris,
Nope. Go further back.
further Babe Ruth.
Yes, with Babe
There we
Ruth.
go.
And he did it twice with a team record 24 home runs in his first 53 games in 1928 and 22 in 1930. So yeah, Aaron Judge is on yet another list that's a very short one with arguably one of the most famous Yankees ever. And with this win against the
I'd say
Twins,
that's safe to say.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there you go.
With this win, the Yankees improved to a 40-15 record, which is the best through 55 games since the 2001 Seattle Mariners started at 43-12.
I had mentioned to Angie yesterday about the 2001 Seattle Mariners, and I'll never forget how as soon as the Yankees advanced to ALCS that year, it did the 116 wins like none of it mattered. It was like, no, they're going to get their
Mm-hmm.
asses kicked. They didn't stand a chance. I thought that was always pretty impressive. Listen, regular season, and we'll talk about this throughout the season, but regular seasons are great to have and set winning records and stuff, but no one's really going to remember it unless you're the last team standing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really when it counts most. All right, but the next night on Wednesday night, the Twins went ahead and answered the Yanks, kind of just give them a pretty good beating right back. Nestor Cortez, unfortunately, had pretty much his worst start of the season, taking a loss to push his record to 5-2. Only went 4 1/3, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. But Aaron Hicks, 2 for 3 with a run scored. DJ LeMahieu drove in the lone Yankee run, and the Yanks offense only mustered up 5 hits on the season. On the day.
On the day.
So,
Yeah, so I have a not fun stat. We have to be fair, even though we are
mhm.
Yankees heavy. But the Twins win that day was their second largest margin of victory versus the Yankees this century, behind a 10-1 win in July of 2015. And this win was also the Yankees' largest margin of defeat this season, and hopefully the last.
Yeah, I mean, through 162 games, usually you're going to
You're
get
gonna get
smacked
beat real
around a
bad
couple
a
of
couple
times. Yeah,
times.
law of averages. It's going to happen. But you're right. Hopefully, this is the worst that we get to see this season. Well, Thursday night though, the rubber game of the series was
Ooh,
by
what a
far
game.
the wildest one, when the Yankees went ahead and rallied to win 10-7. Garrett Cole really laid an egg in this one. He got to know
Yes,
this.
he did. Folks, I don't know what happened. I don't know if Ed lost his internet or if I lost mine. And I just got back, but we're gonna need a second for technical difficulties.
Well, there that goes.
I was like, I don't know what just happened, folks. We're gonna wait a minute.
Okay. Should have just went ahead and kept reading the stat line.
I was about to again, but you came back on.
All right, good. Well, sorry, my internet.
Why you know we're really live, everybody?
There you go. Well, whatever. We're testing out a new internet in our house. So, not gonna. Well, whatever. We're trying out the T-Mobile gateway thing. I don't know what the heck happened there, but not a good start. But Garrett Cole, like it's mentioned, went 2 1/3 innings pitched, 8 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 walks, and gave up 5 home runs. I believe it was his first 8 pitches. He gave up 3 home runs, and I don't think I've ever seen that in my life. Honestly, to start a game.
Yes, and the Twins going back to back to back in the first inning was the first time that they've ever done that in their franchise history.
Yeah, and they've been around for a little bit now, so it's not like it's like an expansion team. But Miguel Castro picked up the win in relief, pushing his record to 3-0. Inning in the third with a walk and a strikeout. But Clay Holmes picked up his 9th save of the season, going an inning with a strikeout. Now we get into the offense, though, which really picked it up little by little. Joey Gallo was 2 for 5 with 2 home runs, giving him 8 on the season, 3 RBIs. Aaron Hicks, though, tied the game up at 7, going 2 for 5 with his 2nd home run of the year. 3 RBIs. DJ LeMahieu was 2 for 5 with his 5th homer of the season. And oddly enough, Anthony Rizzo, Gleyber Torres, and Josh Donaldson all went 2 for 4 with a run scored each. And I know Rizzo and Torres both had an RBI on their stat line, but that was pretty much it. So up and down the lineup, the Yanks going ahead and picking up Garrett Cole. The bullpen going ahead and picking him up, but that's what good teams do, though. I mean, not everyone has it every day, so now you pick each other up. Like we say, we even use that term in softball. So. And we were texting, by the way. So I was at the Rangers game. You were there, and we were both like, "What the hell is this?" After the 3rd home run, I'm like, maybe it's me. And then I started seeing I'm checking in. I'm like, they're creeping back. Okay, all right. And then I'm like, and I get the thing pop up. Aaron Hicks ties it up at 7. I'm like, Aaron Hicks with a big hit. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that was pretty much that. Yanks went ahead and came home, though, welcoming the Cubs. Friday night was Andy Pettitte bobblehead night at the stadium. Yanks went and walked it off in 13 innings by a final of 2-1. Luis Severino got the start, took a no decision, but went 6 innings, scattered 7 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts. So nice start for him. Ron Marinaccio, though, picks up his first major league win. In the 13th inning in relief, Pitt going 1 inning, a walk and 1 strikeout, and working around the Manfred man because that's insanity is still in play in 2022. Josh Donaldson, though, was 2 for 6 with a double. Gleyber Torres was 1 for 5 with his 11th homer of the season. But the man of the hour, though, was Jose Trevino, pinch hitting for Kyle Higashioka in the 13th inning with an RBI single to win it. Yanks had 1,000 chances to win this game. It was driving me completely nuts. And thankfully, Jose Trevino did that. And it was on his son's birthday.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, he went ahead and walked it off his son's birthday. And then the last time he got the walk-off hit was on what would have been his father's birthday. So, I mean, you should check out his wife's birthday, his other cousin's birthday. Make sure this man gets up with the game on the line because it looks like he's going to deliver every single time.
So this was his 2nd walk-off as a Yankee, and it was the team's 7th walk-off of the season, which leaves the major league.
Wow.
Yep.
And listen, the record speaks for itself. I mean, you gotta get some walk-offs. It seems like there's a bit of magic going on here. Then added in every great season needs to have that. So, good to see. We got a lot of that in 2009 and in other past years as well. So, but Yanks the next 2 games against the Cubs really did not leave. There was no suspense here. Saturday night, they went ahead and crushed the Cubs 8-0. Jordan Montgomery, so #runs for Gumby.
Thank you for Gumby.
Came through, picking up his 2nd win of the season. It's so ridiculous. That's his only 2nd win. He saved the bullpen, though, and honestly did them fantastic job going 7 innings, 5 hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts. But Yanks played home run derby on this night. Aaron Judge led the game off with a home run, 2 for 3 with 2 home runs on a day, giving him 24 on the season, 3 RBIs. Giancarlo Stanton, 1 for 4 with his 13th home run of the season. But Jesus, he almost broke the Poland Springs time.
Run.
Yeah. That was a missile that looked like it was going to break the Poland Springs sign in left field. I mean, that was insane. And I'm pretty sure that's the hardest hit ball of the 2022 season.
So yep, you just stole my one of my.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I got a couple others.
But Anthony Rizzo was 1 for 4 with his 15th home run of the season. By the way, me and Mike did go to this game Saturday night. My friend Mike, teammate, was a Cubs fan. He's from Chicago. There's a lot of Rizzo jerseys in the stands. I wore my Yankees Rizzo shirt purposely for that. But yeah, there was a lot of Cubs fans supporting Rizzo still, and he even got a nice hand from them when he hit his 15th homer of the year. Gleyber Torres was 2 for 4 with his 12th home run of the season. And Jose Trevino, again, 3 for 4 with his 5th home run of the year. And IKF was 2 for 4 with an RBI on the night. So, and the Cubs Twitter account, by the way, started talking some shit that was like, I didn't see it during the game, but I caught it later that night. So apparently when Stanton flew out in the first inning, they were tweeting, and like Cubs Twitter went ahead and tweeted, "Oh yeah, I know Yankee fans think every ball in the air is pretty much a home run." And then it was like boom, 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 and they were just like no cheapies either on the night. They were all moonshots.
Yeah.
And then Yankees Twitter went ahead and responded back, "How can you blame them?"
I love when that stuff happens. I love when like franchises or like food places start talking smack to each other. I think that's one of the best things about Twitter. So
what are the Cubs? What are you doing, man? You guys are like at the bottom there. You're gonna talk smack like that.
That's what happens.
Best team in baseball.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of fun facts. With his 24th home run, with 24 home runs in the first 59 games, Aaron Judge is the franchise's 3rd highest total, behind 2 people. One we know. I mean, we know them both, but we've already mentioned.
Was he mentioned earlier in the show?
He was mentioned earlier.
Was he with one of them? Somebody you're a huge fan of?
No.
No. Okay.
It is not him. The other person that you should have mentioned.
Yes. All right. So we got Babe Ruth.
Yes.
And I'm trying to remember what the heck the random A-Rod stat was that was in here.
Not A-Rod. I would never do a stat about A-Rod.
But if he was the only one that was mentioned, then
if he was the only one, I'd have to. Of course,
we can't scrub him from it. I mean, we don't like him.
No, but it's legitimately not him.
Was it Maris?
Nope. Another M.
Mantle?
Yes.
Okay.
So Babe Ruth had 26 in 1928, and Mickey Mantle had 25 in 1956.
It's triple crown here.
As you mentioned, Giancarlo Stanton's home run in the 4th inning was clocked at 119.8 miles per hour, which is the hardest hit this season and the 4th hardest ever tracked by StatCast, which started in 2015. And they didn't mention this, but I'm like 99% sure that those other 4 were from him as well.
Oh, I mean, you got to assume it's probably him or Judge. They've got to.
Because he's always in like the top 5 hardest hit.
Yep.
So, and then the last stat is about the 2 of them. So, Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge have hit a home run in the same game 7 times so far this season, and that's the most of any 2 teammates in Major League Baseball right now.
Crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. I mean, yeah, one was the Major League Baseball home run leader. So, I mean, yeah, and this is what it was supposed to be, right? Like when they traded for Stanton, this is what we all pictured and imagined was going to happen. So, it's nice to see it come to fruition.
So I always want to talk about him. I did not know what happened to him when he was on the Marlins, and I saw a picture of what happened.
Oh, when he got hit in the face.
Holy moly! So they were talking about how he got hit by the 88-mile-per-hour fastball, and it was so bad that his teeth came through his cheek, and he had so much facial reconstructive surgery. Kudos to whoever did that, because, I mean, y'all know what I think about it. He looks spectacular, and I never knew that. I figured he got hit because he wears the guard,
Mhm.
but I never knew it looked that bad. And he showed pictures when it first happened. He had like gashes all over his cheek. So
Yeah, it was pretty brutal, and that's also why he kind of. If you look at him pre getting hit in the face, his batting stance was a little bit different. Now it's more like he's got his shoulder out there, and that's why. Yeah, it was pretty much to protect. He used to just wear the guard against righty pitchers, not lefties, and now he just became a universal thing. And a lot of other hitters since then, he was kind of the one who got that movement started, where a lot of people just started wearing the flaps as well. So. I mean, it's a good piece of protective equipment. It's like, if you're comfortable with it, why risk it? It just doesn't make any sense. So the real beatdown over the weekend came yesterday afternoon at the stadium as the Yanks completed the sweep of the Cubs, 18-4. Jameson Taillon, though, picked up his 7th win of the season, but he was all right. I mean, 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk, 5 Ks. And Manny Buñuelos picked up his first save of the season, and not the usual way because he just pitched with the lead and over the last 3 innings. So that's the other way that you can get a save. But the man on the day, who but Matt Carpenter, 3 for 4, 2 home runs, giving him 6 on the season, 7 RBIs, 3 runs scored, and a walk. A guy who wasn't even supposed to be in the lineup because Donaldson and Glaber had to get scratched at the last second. So they went ahead and just threw him in there, and boom. I mean, the guy just keeps on hitting whenever the heck you get him in the lineup. He's really forcing the issue to want to be in there more often. So, and being a lefty bat, most starters are right-handed, so he would probably be able to see a lot of it. I'm curious to see how that would go. But Kyle Higashioka, though, hit 2 home runs of his own, giving him 2 on the season. And the second one, though.
The second one.
Second off the slowest pitch in the StatCast era. I mean, it looked like arc softball. That's what it looked like.
Did.
Was
it was 35.1 miles per hour. I know I could throw harder than that.
We hit that in the batting cage when we go for softball batting cages. That's what that was. It was just like a big looping pitch, and he just stayed back on it and crushed it to left field. So, because the Cubs had a position player in the game at that time because they were waving the white flag and trying to get this thing over with. So, and his reaction though was not Higgies, but what the heck was it? Was it Swindle or what was that came in?
Oh yeah, the pitcher. Yeah, it was Swindle.
Yeah, so he went ahead and was like, "Yeah, what are you gonna do?"
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm here just to get 3 outs somehow. It doesn't matter how many runs I give up in between. So, but Giancarlo Stanton though was 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, 2 walks, 3 runs scored. So he had himself today. So did Aaron Judge, going 3 for 6, 2 runs scored. IKF was 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs, a run scored, and a double. And Joey Gallo was 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored of his own. So Yanks go ahead and really, listen, you play who's on the schedule. So if it's the Cubs, go ahead and take care of business against the Cubs. But at this point in the season, right, and I had to take a picture of the screen just to make sure that I didn't forget this one. Right now, through 60 games, this is the fewest runs allowed in Yankees history to this point in the season. 180 runs allowed. They went ahead and passed the 1919 Yankees, who went ahead and gave up 186 runs through 60 games. So the pitching, the defense is, they're at an all-time. This is all-time stuff we're seeing here. So enjoy it. And that's how you win, right? That's what they say wins championships, pitching and defense, right? So
yeah. That's a pretty remarkable stat right there.
It really is. Well, that's why I literally saw it on the screen and I paused it and I was like, I need to take a picture of this because I can't forget.
I do that
this.
all the time.
Yeah, I had to. So yeah, it was pretty mind blowing to see that's. And then we talk about it all the time, right on here. Is that anytime you see a first in Yankees history, or it's. The Yankees have a lot of history, so
yeah,
it always impresses me when those kind of things happen. So, you got anything on this game before we go to our awards of the week?
I do. Just one thing. With the pair of home runs that he hit in this game, Matt Carpenter became the first Yankee. There we go. The first Yankee to hit a home run for 6 of his first 7 hits of a season.
Pretty damn impressive.
Yeah,
Pretty
it is.
impressive.
Especially because wasn't he kind of out of baseball for a while? Like
Yeah, he
very
was
similar
terrible with the
to
Cardinals for a couple of
Manuela.
years. Yep.
Yeah.
Had to rework his swing and everything.
Yeah. And quick question. Why were Gleyber Torres and I forgot who'd you
Josh Donaldson.
Why were they scratched? Did we find that out?
I forgot what it was with Donaldson, but I know Gleyber was under the weather. They didn't say it was COVID related. They just said no. I think if it was COVID, they would have said COVID related, or he would have been put on the COVID IL. But as I've learned and others have learned, there are other things besides COVID out there that do happen. You can get a cold.
All right, so we're gonna quickly go off topic again. I don't know if you've seen it near you, Ed, but today I had to run to the store for an event we were having, and it looked like it was snowing pollen.
Yeah, and that's been killing me.
So I was in the store, and the cashier was like, "What is that outside?" And I'm like, "It was pollen." So he might have just had really bad allergies, like I've had for the last week and a half. Who knows?
Yeah, and I don't think I had mentioned that on here, but yeah, I went to see a doctor because I was dealing with like some congestion and stuff like that. And if you've listened to the show recently, you could probably tell. But yeah, they had mentioned if you've had COVID in the past, which I did in January, your lungs are a bit more sensitive to pollen and stuff like that, even though you don't technically have allergies. So yeah, maybe Gleyber's dealing with that. We know he had a false positive in there too, but I know he's had like COVID twice and stuff. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's what he's dealing with, but it doesn't seem like it's anything serious. So hopefully he'll be back in the lineup tomorrow night. And they'll need him, though, because Josh Donaldson, earlier today, his appeal for his 1-game suspension was denied. So he will be serving the 1-game suspension for the Anderson situation tomorrow night against the Rays. So there is that. But all right, let's go ahead and get into our awards of the week. We'll kick it off with the top of the heap, our hitter of the week. So, Lisa, who is your top of the heap this week?
Who but?
I
was going to go. I started off with Aaron Judge, but then I was like, you know what? I don't know how many times I get the opportunity to shout out Matt Carpenter. And his numbers for the week are pretty ridiculous. His average for the last 7 days is 600. Like, come on. That's insane.
That's great softball numbers.
It's a great softball numbers. His OPS is 2.667. Like, this is insane. 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 walk. His on-base percentage is a 667, and his slugging percentage is a 2.000. Who but Matt Carpenter?
I'm going to echo that because who but Matt Carpenter is, Judge wasn't, it's crazy because Judge is my runner-up also. No, I went with Matt Carpenter as well. Yeah, how can you go with anyone but? The guy is pretty much playing slow-pitch softball, and everyone else is playing Major League Baseball right now. So, obviously he will cool off at some point. It's just the way the game works. But, listen, the hot hand is going right now. So, I would get him there as much as humanly possible. And it's a great story to see him bounce back into the majors like this. So, yeah, I'm with you. We'll both go with Matt Carpenter this week. King of the Hill, our pitcher of the week. So, Lisa, let's just start this one off also. Who do you have this week?
We might have had the same pitcher too. I don't know. You go for a lot of relievers. I tend to go for a lot of starters. So I did pick a starter. And because they finally hit for Gumby, I had to do Jordan Montgomery. Is that who you picked?
I did not go with Jordan Montgomery, but go ahead. Read off the stat line because I know you got it ready.
Yes. So for this week, he had 1 win. His ERA is a 0 for the week. 7 innings pitched, 16 hits, 0 runs, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, 5 strikeouts. His whip is a .71, and the batting average against him is a 192.
All right. Hard to argue with that. I was actually going to go with Luis Severino.
Not a bad choice.
Two weeks in a row. He got to start there, but listen. I read off the numbers for the Friday night game, and that's pretty much what it is. It's good to see I'm just excited that he's back to being Sevy again in his walk year. Hopefully, they can go ahead and keep him around. He stays healthy, and that's what excites me to see that. And again, everyone is having, Severino's been great. Montgomery's been great. Tyone, even though he had a rough week, he's been really great this season. And, Cole's having a good season, but he's kind of gets some crap from fans because, he's having a good season. It's really, honestly, it's a lot to do with just a couple of really terrible, horrendous starts and why his numbers aren't like lights out like the rest of them. But he's also having a really good season, though. But it just seems like when he's bad, he's really bad. So, yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be much of a middle ground there. But all right, let's go ahead and bring it as the Yanks will go ahead and open up a big series starting tomorrow night as they welcome the Rays into the stadium. So, Lisa, who's our pitching probables that we got for the next 3 nights?
All right. So tomorrow night we have deja vu all over again. We have Corey Kluber versus Garrett Cole. I do hope there's a little twist to the deja vu and that we win this time because that was one of Garrett Cole's tough games. But Corey Kluber is a right-hand pitcher. He has a 3-2 record, 3.88 ERA, and 51 strikeouts on the year. And Garrett Cole, another right-hand pitcher, he has a 5-1 record, 3.63 ERA, and 84 strikeouts on the year so far. Game 2 on Wednesday is Shane McClanahan versus one of my favorites, Nestor Cortez Jr., one of Ed's favorites too. Shane McClanahan is a left-hand pitcher, 7-2 record, 1.87 ERA, and 98 strikeouts on the year. Nestor Cortez Jr., also a lefty, 5-2 record, 1.96 ERA, and 71 strikeouts on the year. That should be a nice matchup right there. Sure. And then for game 3 on Thursday, we have Drew Rasmussen, who's a right-hand pitcher, 5-3 record, 3.41 ERA, and 49 strikeouts on the year, versus Ed's king of the hill, Luis Severino, right-hand pitcher, 4-1 record, 2.80 ERA, and 71 strikeouts on the year. So let's see what happens this time around.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a good test for the Yanks again because yes, they're right now they're in control of the division. Rays are in third place at the moment. We also know it's June, so there's still a hell of a long way to go. But the last time they split the series down in Tampa, so it'd be interesting to see what happens this time around. And the pitching matchups are all lined up there. So actually, TJ is going to be with me at the game on Thursday.
Oh, nice.
Yes, that dude is nuts. I love it. He's coming up Wednesday night. He's meeting us at our softball game. Our Nerf guy came, and he's crashing with me and Ange for 2 days, and then just going back. He's going to this one game. I guess so. I guess he really wanted to see that Thursday game. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'd be curious. That'll be a fun time. I've been to a couple of games with TJ. It's always a good time. So so our buddy in Tampa's a Rays fan. So we go ahead and
it happens, folks. We listen. We have Cubby fans. We have Rays fans. We have Mets fan friends. We have Yankee fans who pretend they're. I don't know. You know what? Let me not say what they do. I actually think they're Rays fans who now pretend that they're a Yankee fan. But I don't know. And then we have friends that boycott baseball too.
In a weird way, because they still watch it, but then they don't give the money to. I don't know. Listen, whatever floats your boat, man. It's good for you. So, all right. Well, that pretty much wraps up for us on this Monday evening. So, thanks for joining us wherever you found us. If you like what you heard here and you're joining us on Facebook, you can go ahead and join our Empire 161 Show Facebook group. Go ahead and join that and join the daily conversation. We share lineups and results and highlights and what have you. So come in and join us. It's always a lot of fun. Or if you're catching us on Twitter, come follow us. Same type of thing we do there at Empire 161 Show. So if you're catching us there, catching us on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to Pop Culture Pros because we got a whole bunch of stuff there. And Pop Culture Pros also has their own Twitter account and Facebook. It's not like we're So come in and join us. Before us this evening was Shooting the Sith with Tim, so if you're into Star Wars, check him out. After us, we're like the sandwich over here and there. We got Double O Deep Dive with Jason and Ginny that we're talking about how Beauty Would Kill. last Roger Moore film in the franchise. Go ahead and check that out. If you're into comic books, you can go ahead and join me and Jason on Granny's Beach Tea. We'll be talking about Thor: The Dark World this week, going with the latest episodes of The Boys and Miss Marvel, Superman and Lois, and The Flash, and whatever the heck it is. So join us for that. If you're into the Mets, another New York baseball team, and like I said, we always say we got a lot of Met fans who support our show, and we appreciate that. Check out Put in the Books with Faraci and Keith and Rodriguez. They do an excellent job covering the New York Mets as well. If you're into Disneyland, check out Ashley on Skyline Views. They do it on Thursday night. If you love Tim, you love Eric, and you can't get enough of them, you can see them on two shows. The Just Too Sweet show on Tuesday nights for wrestling, and the A to Z show, which is usually on Friday nights. So check all of that stuff out. We'll see you next week. I'm sure we'll be back Sunday night or, Monday or whatever the heck it is. We're usually on one of those two nights. So check us out. Enjoy the week. Let's go Yankees.
Woohoo! Thanks, everybody.
Peace.